I think it's important for all UFA members to understand what this contract gives us if ratified, what happens if it's rejected, and why the executive board thinks this is the very best deal we can get now in this round of bargaining. But I first need to address pattern bargaining because it's clearly the elephant in the room. The UFA faced the same fundamental problems that other uniform unions faced in negotiating their contracts. The basic framework, the pattern, was established by the teachers union when they accepted a 9-year contract in 2014. You have to remember that they never received the 4% and 4% raises we negotiated for the 2008-2010 contract. As part of their 9-year deal, they did receive the 2 4% raises, but then took 18 months worth of zeros to start the next 7 years. Their deal set the new 7-year pattern. Then it was solidified by several other large civilian unions. Next, the Uniform Coalition, made up of the UFOA and NYPD detectives, lieutenants and captains, Department of Corrections captains, assistant deputy wardens and wardens, and the sanitation department chiefs, all came to an agreement with the city that paid them 1% more. This established the uniform pattern. Then the sergeants and the sanitation workers union settled and cemented the uniform pattern. A review of contract agreements going back 40 years shows that only half the time has there been a uniform differential, when the uniform unions receive slightly more than the civilian unions. The other half shows that the uniforms receive the exact same as the civilians, meaning the civilian pattern held. All of you have a right to be angry with pattern bargaining. It's well established in New York City contract negotiations, and it's clearly designed to hold down wages. I don't like it, and I don't think it's fair, but it's real, and we can't pretend it doesn't exist. The reason we took this deal now instead of waiting for the uniform pattern to be handed down by an arbitrator is because we were able to secure incredibly valuable items that we never expected the city to agree to. First, we secured C plus 20 staffing agreement as part of our contract. This deal not only gives us 96 hours of roster staffing overtime permanently to all firefighters, both full duty and light duty, but it also protects our current staffing and gives us 5 firefighter engines in our contract forever. Some have said this is no big deal. I don't think they understand its significance. This contract doesn't just give us 25 firefighter engines, it also guarantees C-level staffing plus 20. This protects the staffing in all companies on the FDNY because AUC 287 mandates the definition of C-level staffing as ladder companies, rescue companies, squad companies, and Haztech engine companies start the tour with 5 firefighters. And all engines start with 4. In addition, Hazmat 1 starts with 7 firefighters, and Marine Division companies start with 2. The department can't reduce any staffing if we ratify this contract. If we reject this deal, this mayor or the next could certainly make staffing reductions, and after the FDNY just changed its ventilation policy, no firefighter should be surprised at what position would be targeted. Remember, whenever the department has reduced ladder staffing after the start of a tour, it has always taken the OV firefighter. By the way, this staffing deal has the same 7.5% medical leave restrictions that existed in the original roster staffing agreement. That means the fire commissioner can take away the 5th firefighter on the 20 engine companies until medical leave drops below the threshold. But the C staffing provisions have nothing to do with medical leave, and because they are now in our contract, the staffing levels on ladder companies, SOC, Haztech engines, Hazmat 1 and the boats are now secured and can never be reduced by the city without the approval of a new contract ratified by the UFA members that would allow for such a reduction. Despite any economic downturn or a future mayor that just doesn't appreciate or understand how important staffing is to firefighter and public safety, there can be no reduction in staffing, period. This is a big deal. It provides us unprecedented protection. The UFA has not had staffing protections in our contract since they were lost back in the 80s. That's why when I hear some firefighters say they don't care about staffing, they clearly don't understand what it means to them and their brothers and sisters. Second, we were able to reach an agreement on full disability benefits for the 1,700 current members and all future members hired after 7/109. The UFA has led the public fight and ultimately got the city to completely change its position because, as you remember, they didn't want disability pensions to be 3/4, and they never wanted new hires to have full presumptions restored, which are heart, stroke, lung, and cancer disability protections. We believe this is absolutely the best deal available because it's better than the Uniform Coalition deal, 11 months worth of zeros, and it gives us the staffing protections and 25 firefighter engines, plus 3/4 disability pension for our new members, plus terminal leave payout when any UFA member retires. The executive board, like all of you, believes that we deserve more than 11.51% compounded raises over 7 years, but the basic pattern was set by others. We also believe that what we were able to secure now and the protections we secured forever make this the best deal the UFA can or will get in this round of contract negotiations. If this contract is ratified, it will expire on July 31st, 17, less than 2 years from now. The UFA will be in a position to go first and set the pattern in the next round because our contract will expire before any other union in the city. Just to be clear, the UFA Executive Board does not believe there will be an opportunity to continue negotiations should this contract be rejected. The city will declare an impasse and force us into arbitration to accept the uniform pattern deal. The arbitration process will not allow any contract revisions on staffing or pension, and we could end up with 11 months worth of zeros up front. We are certain that the city will never offer us staffing protections we have in this deal. It's our hope that this information will help you as you make your decision on this tentative contract.